So I'm Christian Levitt. I'm the owner of the Mougins Museum of Classical Art, and I bought and put together the collection that is in the museum here. Well, I love every piece of art that's in the museum, which is why I bought them all. But one of my favourites and one of the most important things in the museum is this 1st century bronze head of the Emperor Augustus. And there's many reasons why I find this particularly extraordinary. Even though it's fragmentary, you can see how the test of time, with it being in the ground for 2,000 years, has really sort of sculpted the piece and actually in some ways sort of enhanced its antiquity and historical feeling. On top of that, actually, to have a portrait, be it marble or particularly bronze, of an emperor that is so clearly and definably that individual is rare. With it being Augustus, of course, that's a critically important emperor in Roman imperial history, really being the first one after Julius Caesar. Also the provenance of this piece, which is absolutely critical with collecting antiquities, is absolutely extraordinary. We know that it was found in Rome itself in 1885 underneath a church. We know the name of the church and the name of the street. It was found with 2 other bronze heads, both of which are in other museums. And it was published in the late 19th century and again several times in the 20th century. So its provenance is also about as perfect as it could get in collecting terms, not just in antiquities, but in art terms in general. I absolutely love it. Enchanting. Yeah, well, Mougins has a number of very attractive qualities about it. I had a house here in Mougins, still have a house here, and 2 restaurants here, and you know, Mougins is very synonymous with not only being in the centre of the old Roman Empire, and there's been Roman fragments found on the hill here in Mougins in the past, but also is very synonymous with artists, and of course we show classically themed artworks by artists from the Baroque period all the way through to the contemporary period. And artists such as Leger lived here, Francis Picabia, very famously Picasso of course, Jean Cocteau, Man Ray. So to have a museum in Mougins which both combined antiquities and art just seemed like the perfect place. Yeah, I mean, well, the greatest pleasure that you get from owning a museum is really twofold. One is the ability for other people to come here and study the pieces from a sort of educational perspective. It's great for the collection then because it gets published and recognised, but it's great for the public and including myself to be able to come here and study the pieces and often many of them add something from a sort of historical knowledge, you know, sort of perspective, academically speaking. And then secondly, it's nice that people come here and just get pleasure from wandering around and seeing the pieces like they do, you know, when one might visit any museum. So to walk around the museum when there's people in here, finding the museum so wondrous and finding interest in so many objects is really, you know, really fantastic and gives me a nice feeling.